she announced. "Ha! My lawyer says you owe me alimony." Confidently, I said. "Read again." When her lawyer realized she'd been married before and never divorced, the alimony conversation turned into, I, 36 male, was sitting in my lawyer's office when Gina, 33, strutted in with her attorney, practically glowing with confidence. We'd been separated for 4 months, and this was our second settlement meeting. The first one hadn't gone her way. She wanted the house, my 401k, and monthly support. My lawyer shut that down fast since we'd only been married 3 years and had no kids. But today she had a new angle. "I've reconsidered my position," her lawyer, Mr. Hutchinson, announced. "My client will accept the house sale proceeds split 50-50, but she requires spousal support." "On what grounds?" my attorney, Ms. Rodriguez, asked. Gina leaned forward, smirking. "I gave up my career for this marriage." I almost laughed. Gina had been working part-time at a boutique when we met, making maybe $20 a year. She quit 6 months after our wedding because she wanted to focus on making our house a home. Translation: she wanted to shop and lunch with friends. "Your client has a degree in work history," Rodriguez countered. "She's employable." "She's been out of work for over 2 years, Hutchinson said. "Standard spousal support applies." That's when Gina couldn't contain herself anymore. "Ha! My lawyer says you owe me alimony." She was practically bouncing in her seat. 2 years minimum, maybe 3. I stayed calm. "Read again." "Read what again?" she snapped. "Your paperwork. All of it." Rodriguez slid a folder across the table. Hutchinson opened it, confused. Then his face changed. Miss Gina, we need to speak privately." "What? No, we're winning. Tell him about the alimony calculations." "Now please." They stepped out. I could hear muffled voices through the door, Gina's getting louder and higher. When they came back, Hutchinson looked like he'd swallowed a lemon. "We need to postpone this meeting," he said. "Why?" Gina demanded. "Just tell him he owes me money," Rodriguez spoke up. "Because according to the marriage records we've obtained, you were married in 2014 to a Terrence Wilkins. There's no divorce decree on file." The color drained from Gina's face. That's not. We broke up years ago." "Breaking up isn't divorcing," I said quietly. "You're still legally married to him." "Which means," Rodriguez continued, "your marriage to my client is invalid. You can't claim alimony from a marriage that doesn't legally exist." Gina's mouth opened and closed like a fish. Then the rage hit. "You knew? You knew, and you didn't tell me?" "I found out 2 weeks ago," I said, "when I was gathering financial documents. Found your old tax returns where you filed as married." "This is entrapment. It's fraud." "No," Rodriguez said calmly. "Fraud is marrying someone when you're already married. That's actually bigamy." Let me back up and explain how we got here. Gina and I met at a friend's barbecue in 2019. She was charming, funny, beautiful, told me she'd had a starter marriage in her early 20s that ended badly, said they divorced after 8 months. I didn't push for details. Everyone has a past. We dated for a year, got engaged, married in 2021. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. Looking back, I should have noticed she was weird about the paperwork. Kept saying she'd lost her divorce decree, would get a copy later. I trusted her. The marriage was okay at first. Not great, but okay. Gina liked nice things. Designer bags, expensive dinners, spa days. I made good money as a software engineer, so I didn't mind. But she started getting entitled. Quit her job without discussing it, maxed out her credit cards and expected me to pay them off. Got angry when I suggested she go back to work. "I'm not meant for retail," she'd say. "I'm meant for better things." The breaking point came when I found out she'd been taking money from my home office. Not huge amounts, but steady. $50 here, $100 there. When confronted, she said it was our money, and she shouldn't have to ask. I filed for separation the next week. During the document gathering for divorce, I needed our tax returns. That's when I noticed something odd. In 2018, before we met, she'd filed as married, filing separately. "Hey, didn't you say you divorced in 2015? I asked Rodriguez. That's what she claimed. Why? She's filing as married in 2018. Rodriguez's eyes lit up. "I'll check the records." 2 days later, she called. "You're not going to believe this. Gina Terrence married Terrence Wilkins in June 2014. No divorce filing in any county database. So our marriage is invalid, void, never legally happened." Holy shit. Yeah, question is, what do you want to do about it? I thought about it. Gina trying to take half my assets, demanding alimony, stealing from me, lying from day one. Let her hang herself with it, I said. Don't tell her yet. Let's see how far she pushes. Update 1. After the meeting where Gina found out, things went nuclear. First, she tried calling me. Dozens of times. When I didn't answer, the text started. This is your fault. You trapped me. I thought Terry filed. You have to help me fix this. I'll sue you for emotional distress. Answer your phone. I didn't respond. Let Rodriguez handle it. Then came the email from Hutchinson to Rodriguez. Gina was now claiming I knew about her marriage status all along and took advantage of her. She wanted damages for intentional infliction of emotional distress and fraudulent inducement into a void marriage. Rodriguez's response was beautiful. Mr. Hutchinson, your client entered into a marriage ceremony while already married. She filed joint tax returns with my client while legally married to another man. She claimed to be divorced in both verbal and written statements. My client is the victim here, not the perpetrator. Any attempt to pursue damages will be met with a criminal complaint for bigamy. Radio silence for 3 days. Then Gina showed up at my apartment. Not my finest moment. I opened the door without checking the peephole. We need to talk, she said, pushing past me. No, we don't. Please leave. You ruined my life. I thought Terry handled the divorce. For 6 years, you thought he handled it and never checked? I don't understand legal stuff. You know that. You understood enough to demand alimony. Her face twisted. I deserve compensation. I wasted 3 years with you. You wasted them? You lied about being divorced. I didn't lie. I thought. You thought? Did you think when you filed taxes as married? Did you think when you couldn't produce divorce papers? That's different. How? Because I love you. We can work this out. The manipulation was so transparent. You love me, but you were demanding alimony 5 days ago? I was hurt. You filed for separation. Because you were stealing from me. I wasn't stealing. I was taking what was mine. Nothing was yours. We were never legally married. That's when she lost it completely. Started grabbing things. A vase, picture frames, anything she could claim as hers. These are wedding gifts. They're mine. From a wedding that wasn't legal. Put them down. Make me. I called 911. I need police assistance. My ex is in my apartment refusing to leave. Gina's eyes went wide. You're calling the cops? On me? You're trespassing and trying to steal property. It's not stealing. We were married. No, we weren't. She threw the vase at the wall. It shattered. Then she ran for the bedroom, our former bedroom. I followed, staying in the doorway. She was yanking open drawers, grabbing jewelry, stuffing things in her purse. That's theft, Gina. Prove it. You gave these to me. I gave them to my wife. You're not my wife. Never were. The cops arrived 10 minutes later. 2 officers, very professional. I explained the situation briefly. Ex-girlfriend, because that's all she ever was really. Refusing to leave, destroying property, taking items. Ma'am, you need to leave, the older officer said. I live here. We're married. Actually, I said, showing them Rodriguez's summary. We're not. She was already married. The officers read it, looked at each other, looked at Gina. Ma'am, let's go. This is false arrest. I want a lawyer. You're not under arrest yet, but you need to leave. They escorted her out. I filed a police report for the vase and made a list of what she took. Small stuff mostly, but it was the principal. Update 2. A week after the police incident, I got an unexpected call. Is this Martin? Martin Cross? Yes. My name is Terrence Wilkins. I think you married my wife. My stomach dropped. Oh, hi. Yeah, oh, can we meet? I have information you need. We met at a coffee shop. Terrence was nothing like I expected. Mid-40s, graying temples, wearing a suit. Looked exhausted. So, he said after we sat down. Gina. Yeah. How much did she take you for? She's trying for alimony and half my assets. But since your marriage... Oh, I know. My lawyer explained. That's why I'm here. He pulled out a folder. Thought you might want to see these. Court documents. Lots of them. I've been trying to divorce her for 4 years, Terrence explained. She keeps dodging service. Changes addresses, uses fake names. I've spent $15,000 on lawyers and process servers. Jesus. It gets better. Look at this. A credit report, in Terrence's name, showing massive debt. She opened accounts in my name throughout our marriage. Ran up $60,000 in debt before I caught on. I'm still paying it off. And you couldn't divorce her because can't serve papers to someone you can't find. She was good at disappearing. Until now. He smiled grimly. My lawyer is very interested in your lawyer's contact info. Why help me, though? Because she did the same thing to me. Met her in 2014, whirlwind romance, married fast. She quit her job immediately, started spending like crazy. When I cut off the credit cards, she got nasty. Then she just left, took everything valuable and vanished. And you've been looking for her since? On and off. Hired a PI twice. Nothing. She was using her maiden name with you? Yeah, Gina Morrison. That's new. She was Gina Collins when I met her. Wait, what? He laughed bitterly. Yeah, I did some digging after she left. Morrison isn't her maiden name, it's just another alias. So who is she really? Regina Marie Thompson. At least, that's what's on her birth certificate. My head was spinning. How many times has she done this? You're at least the second, maybe the third. Hard to tell. We exchanged information. Terrence gave me copies of everything. The debt records, the fraud reports, even photos of items she'd stolen from him. Some looked familiar. The silver necklace, I said, pointing. She said that was her grandmother's. My mother's, actually. Anniversary gift from my father. She's still wearing it. His eyes hardened. Not for long. Update 3. Armed with Terrence's information, Rodriguez went nuclear. First, she filed a motion to dismiss any financial claims from Gina due to the marriage being void. Easy win. Second, she contacted Terrence's lawyer to coordinate. They served Gina with divorce papers at her friend's apartment where she'd been staying. No more hiding. Third, and this was the beautiful part, Rodriguez filed a claim for unjust enrichment. Basically, I wanted back every penny I'd spent on Gina under the false pretense of marriage. The number was brutal. Ring, $8,000. Wedding, $15,000. Gifts, $10,000. Living expenses for 2.5 years, $40,000. Her credit card payments, $12,000 total, $85,000. She'll never pay that, I told Rodriguez. No, but it gives us leverage, and it puts her on notice. Actions have consequences. Gina's response came through Hutchinson, who sounded defeated. My client is willing to walk away with no claims if you drop your unjust enrichment suit. No deal, Rodriguez said. She committed fraud. There are consequences. She has no assets. Then she can payment plan or declare bankruptcy. Not our problem. That's when Gina made her biggest mistake. She decided to represent herself. She filed a handwritten motion claiming, 1. I knew she was married and didn't care. 2. Common law marriage should apply. 3. She deserved compensation for domestic labor. 4. I was harassing her by helping her ex find her mare. The judge's response was swift. Hearing scheduled. I'll never forget that day in court. Gina showed up in what I assumed she thought was court appropriate, a too-tight dress and heels she could barely walk in. Your Honor, she started, I've been victimized by these men who… Stop, the judge said. Are you legally represented? I don't need a lawyer to tell my truth. I strongly advise you to get counsel. Why, so they can take more of my money? The judge sighed. Very well, Mr. Cross's attorney, proceed. Rodriguez laid it out methodically. Evidence of Gina's existing marriage. Proof she knew, tax returns, insurance forms, my financial losses, her pattern of fraud. Thanks, Terrence. Gina tried to interrupt constantly. The judge threatened contempt twice. When it was her turn, Gina's defense was essentially, I didn't know divorce was so complicated. You didn't know you needed to actually file for divorce to be divorced? The judge asked. Terry said he'd handle it. For 6 years? I trusted him. But you didn't trust him enough to stay married? Or to verify the divorce. That's different. The ruling was swift. Marriage to me was void ab initio from the beginning. No financial claims allowed. Unjust enrichment claim valid but reduced to $50,000. Gina given 30 days to work out payments or face garnishment. Gina exploded. This is sexist, classist. I'm being persecuted. Ma'am, you committed fraud. Be grateful criminal charges haven't been filed. I'll appeal. With what lawyer? The judge asked dryly. Court adjourned. Final update. It's been 3 months since that court date. Here's where everyone stands. Terrence finally got his divorce. Default judgment since Gina couldn't afford to fight it. He's free and says it's the best money he ever spent. Gina is working 2 retail jobs to avoid garnishment. She pays me $500 a month, court ordered. At this rate, it'll take 8 years to pay off, but it's something. She tried one last manipulation, showed up at my work with flowers and an apology letter. Security escorted her out. The letter was hilarious. 3 pages of how she was the real victim, how society failed her, how I was her true love despite everything. I kept it. Sometimes when I'm feeling down, I read it and remember how much worse things could be. Found out through mutual friends that she's already dating someone new. Poor guy has no idea. I thought about warning him, then decided it wasn't my problem. Maybe he'll be smarter than Terrence and me. Maybe he'll ask for divorce papers up front. As for me, I'm in therapy, working through trust issues. Dating isn't on my radar yet, but I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. My apartment is mine again. My finances are recovering, and I have a great story for parties. Hey, remember when you were married? Actually, funny story. The best part? Every month when that $500 hits my account, I know Gina's out there, working retail, paying for her lies one shift at a time. It's not about the money. I make that in a day. It's about accountability. She wanted alimony. She got garnishment. She wanted half my assets. She got debt. She wanted to be my wife. She wasn't even legally capable of it. Karma's real, folks. Sometimes it just needs a good lawyer to help it along.